Namaste class, welcome again. Now in this lecture we will see exercise 1.2. Okay. Before we start exercise 1.2, I will discuss two theorems. Theorem number 1 is that if a prime number divides a square means any number, okay, it could be 5 square, 7 square, 10 square. So if a prime number divides a square, then that prime number also divides a. Okay, you have to remember this theorem, that if a prime number divide prime number, you know what is prime number: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 numbers which are divisible by 1 and number itself. So if a prime number divides a square, then that prime number also divides a. Second, if a prime number divides a into b, okay, then either that prime number will divide a, or it will divide b, or it will divide both a and b. Okay, so with that theorem in our mind, we will start with problem. The problem is prove that root 5 is irrational number. Now what is rational number, what is irrational number, that we already understand. Okay, a rational number is a number which we can write in the form of p upon q, okay, where q should not be equal to 0 and their HCF should be 1. So they have a common factor, they do not have any other common factor. Okay, so here we have to prove that this root 5 is irrational. So here we will begin by considering that let root 5 is rational. So in our solution we will start by considering that let root 5 is a rational number. Now root 5 is a rational number, so therefore I say that this root 5 is equals to p upon q, where q is not equal to 0 and p and q have only 1 as a common factor. There are various other ways to say this thing. We can say that p and q has no common factor except 1. Okay, that will also acceptable. Now root 5 is p upon q, so therefore what we will do, we will square both the sides. So we will get 5 is equals to p square upon q square. This implies that 5q square is equals to p square. Now 5, which is a prime number, 5 divides 5q square, therefore 5 divides p square. Now 5 is a prime number and it divides p square, therefore by theorem 1 what I discussed, 5 divides p. Okay, so 5 divides 5q square, therefore I will say that 5 divides p square because 5q square is equals to p square. Now 5 is a prime number, therefore if 5 divides p square, then 5 will divide p. Okay, this you have to remember as it is. Now as 5 divides p, therefore we can write this p, as 5m, because 5 is dividing p, so p is multiple of 5, so we can say that p is equals to 5m. Now p is equals to 5m, therefore I will use this 5m in equation. Let us say this as equation 1. So therefore 5q square is equals to 5m the whole square. This is from 1. So this implies that 5q square is equals to 25m square. This implies that q square is equals to 5m square. Now again 5 divides 5m square. So here 5 divides 5m square. Therefore 5 divides q square. Now again here 5 is a prime number. 5 is a prime number. Therefore I will just say that 5 divides q. So here we have seen that 5 divides p. You can see here 5 divides p, and here we see that 5 divides q. So therefore I will say that therefore p and q have a common factor 5. Okay. Now what we have assumed that p and q do not have any common factor except 1. But here what we are getting p and q have a common factor. Okay. So this is contradiction. This is contradiction. Now contradiction means what we have assumed, okay, it is contradicting to that. It is just reverse of that, just opposite of that. Hence we say that root 5 is irrational. Okay, we have assumed that root 5 is rational, but at the end we get a contradictory statement. So if we get a contradiction, that means what we are assuming, what is our supposition, that assumption is not correct. So I will say that root 5 is a rational number. So these are the steps which you have to follow. You can refer your textbook also for the same. Okay, you will find a little bit different okay, set of steps. So either you follow this or you follow that what is given in your textbook. Somewhat you have to learn in these kind of problems. Yes, how to write the solutions. Let us see one more problem. Here we have to prove that root 7 is a rational number. So step by step, tell me what is our first step. Our first step is, we say that let root 7 is rational number. Fine. Now what is second step? Second step is, we will say that therefore root 7 is equals to p upon q, where q is not equal to 0 and p and q have no common factor except 1. So if you see the previous problem which I have done, this statement is little different what I have written in the last problem. So anyway you can write. Now the third step, yes, what is third step? You will square both the sides. So you will get 7 equal to p square upon q square. What is fourth step? You multiply this, you move this q square from right to left. So you will get 7, therefore 7 q square is equals to p square. Now 7 q square, so 7 q square is divisible by 7. So you will say that 7 divides 7 q square. So therefore as 7 divides 7 q square, 7 will divide p square also. Therefore 7 divides p square. Now 7 is a prime number. 7 is prime number. Therefore 7 divides P. Okay. Now what is next step? As 7 divides P, I will say that therefore P equal to 7m. Now I will put this P equal to 7m in equation, say this is equation 1. So put P equal to 7m in equation 1. So we will put in equation 1, we will get therefore 7q square is equals to 7m the whole square. Therefore I will get 7q square is equals to 7 7 is 49 m square. Therefore I will get q square is equals to 7m square. Now again 7 divides m square. Therefore 7 divides q square. Therefore 7 divides q. Okay. So therefore I can say that therefore P and Q have 7 as a common factor. Now this contradicts the statement that P and Q have no common factor except 1. Therefore our supposition, or I will say that therefore our assumption is wrong. Therefore we will say that root 7 is a irrational number. Yes, I think these two examples are enough to understand you that how to prove these statements that root 5 is irrational, root 7 is irrational, root 3 is irrational, root 2 is irrational, and so on. Now next is prove that root 6 is a rational number. So here again we will say that let root 6 is rational. Now I am solving this problem because this is little different from the previous problems. This is little different from previous problems because till now whatever problems we have seen, they are all prime numbers like 5, 7. Now here the number is not a prime number, it is a composite number 6. So let root 6 is a rational number. So therefore I will say that root 6 is equals to P upon Q. P and Q are integers. Q is not equal to 0 and P and Q have no common factor except 1. Okay. So now I will square on both the sides. So therefore I have 6 equal to p square upon q square. Therefore I have 6q square is equals to p square. Okay. So therefore up here 6q square is equals to p square. Now 6 divides q square, but I want a prime number, so I will say that 2 divides 6q square. So 2 divides 6q square. Therefore 2 divides p square. Up 2 is prime number. Now here please note that here I have written p and q are integers. So this statement I missed in previous problems. So kindly mention this also, that p and q are integers, right? Okay. So here 2 is a prime number. Therefore 2 divides p. Okay. So therefore I can say that p is equals to 2m. Now put p is equals to 2m in equation 1. Where is equation 1? This equation. So we will get 6q square. So therefore 6q square will be equals to 2m the whole square. So therefore 6q square is equals to 4m square. So therefore we have 3q square is equals to 2m square. Now 2 divides 2m square. Therefore 2 divides 3q square. Therefore 2 divides 3 or q square. Now in the beginning of the lecture I discussed one more theorem, that if a prime number divides a into b, then either that prime number will divide a or that prime number will divide b. So here 2 divides 3q square, so 2 divides 3 or 2 divides q square. But 2 does not divide 3, but 2 does not divide 3. So therefore 2 divides q square. Now 2 is prime. 2 is prime number. Therefore 2 divides q. So 2 divides p as well as 2 divides q. So therefore 2 is a common factor of p and q. This contradicts that p and q have no common factor except 1. So therefore our assumption is wrong. Therefore we will say that root 6 is a rational number. Simple. Okay. So I think you first practice these 3 questions what we have discussed. First question, prove that root 5 is a rational number. Second, root 7 is irrational number, and third, root 6 is a rational number. Once you are familiar with these three problems, we will see the other problems. Okay, so I will meet you in the next class with the problem that we have to prove that 1 upon root 11 is irrational. Or what I suggest that after doing these three problems, you try this problem by yourself. I am sure that you will be able to solve this problem. Yes? Okay, fine. So I will meet you in our next class. Hope you like this video. You have understand everything what we have discussed. Thank you for watching.